Hello dear students, welcome back to physics online classes for class 12 students. Let us continue chapter 3 current electricity. Today we are going to study about heating effect of electric current, electric energy, electric power, power loss and power consumption in series and parallel combination of electrical appliances. You can remember current electricity video lecture 17th. Current electricity 17th video lecture you can remember. We already studied about heating effect of electric current, electric energy, power loss. All these terms we already studied in the 17th video lecture you can remember. Today again I am going to revise all these terms with last part, that is power consumption in series and in parallel combination for electrical appliances. Let us revise all these terms. With that we can study power consumption in series and parallel. Let us start the class. Heating effect of electric current, the first term. It is also called as Joule's law of heating effect. The first point you can observe, when an electric current is passed through the conductor, it's get heated up. This effect is called heating effect of electric current. When you are going to switch on a bulb, you can take a bulb. When you switch on the bulb, after some time you can observe when you touch that bulb, it will be very hot or very warm. It is all because that electrical energy is going to release heat energy. So that effect we are going to call it as heating effect of electric current. Is what is heating effect of electric current? When an electric current is passed through the conductor, it gets heated up and this effect is called heating effect of electric current. Suppose the amount of heat produced is H, or you can take Q, no problem. The amount of heat produced H when a current I flows through a conductor of resistance R for a time T is given by. H is the amount of heat produced, I is the current flowing through a conductor of resistance capital R for a time interval T. Then the equation is given by H equal to I square R into T. So this is the equation for heating effect of electric current. What is the equation? H equal to I square R into T. How we got that equation? Why the electric current is releasing heat energy or why the conductors are heated up, that we can study in detail. Reason for heating effect of electric current. We already studied the reason. You can remember the video lecture 17th, current electricity 17th in detail. I already explained. Just we can revise what is the reason behind the heating effect of electric current. The first point, an electric field is produced inside the conductor when a potential difference is applied across the ends of the conductor. We know that across the ends of the conductor, when potential difference is applied, then electric field is produced inside the conductor. This is basic concept, we already know it. Then when electric field is produced inside the conductor, then the free electrons in the conductors are accelerated. In which direction? They are accelerated in a direction opposite to the direction of electric field. Is it clear? The first point you can remember, we are going to apply potential difference across the ends of the conductor. Then electric field is produced inside the conductor. Because of this electric field, free electrons are accelerated. Where they are moving? They are moving in a direction opposite to the direction of electric field. Then what happens? These free electrons acquire kinetic energy. When free electrons are accelerated, they will get kinetic energy. Then the accelerated electrons collide with the positive ions of the conductor. Conductor contains positive ions which are fixed to certain places. When these free electrons are accelerated because of electric field, they will get kinetic energy. When they will get kinetic energy, they start to collide with the positive ions of the conductor. When they collide with the positive ions, then the acquired kinetic energy of the electron is transferred to the ions. When these electrons are collided with the positive ions, then that kinetic energy is transferred to the positive ions. Then what happens? Due to this, the average kinetic energy of the vibration of ions increases. See here, ions are fixed to certain positions in the conductor. When these free electrons collide with the positive ion, kinetic energy of the free electron is transferred to positive ions, and these ions start to vibrate and they will acquire certain amount of kinetic energy. So this leads to an increase in the temperature of the conductor. When these ions start to vibrate, then it will increase the temperature of the conductor. Therefore, the conductor gets heated up. So the conductor is heated up when a current is passed through it. Is it clear? So what is the reason behind the heating effect? Remember, conductor contains large number of free electrons as well as positive ions. Positive ions are fixed to certain positions. They will not move anywhere. Only they can vibrate about their mean position only when they will get energy. When we supplied potential difference across the conductor, electric field is produced inside the conductor. When there is electric field, then all these free electrons, they start to accelerate in the direction opposite to the direction of electric field. So here, when these free electrons start to accelerate, they will get kinetic energy. They are moving, but in their path, there are large number of positive ions. So these free electrons start to collide with the positive ions. During collision, certain amount of kinetic energy from the free electron is transferred to positive ion. Then positive ion acquire some kinetic energy. They start to vibrate. Because of the vibration, temperature of the conductor increases so that the conductor gets heated up when a current is passed through it. Current is passed through it means what? Free electron starts to move. Because of this, we will get a heating effect of electric current. This is the reason behind the heating effect. Right? Next term, electrical energy, which is denoted by W. What is electrical energy? The total work done in maintaining the current in an electric circuit is called electric energy. That means the total work done in maintaining the current in an electric circuit. If you want to maintain current in the electric circuit, we need electrical energy. So that energy is given by the cell. Remember, cell will provide energy to the charges. Then charges starts to move. So EMF will maintain the electric current. In general, electric energy is the total work done in maintaining current in an electric circuit is called electric energy. And the equation is given by W equal to V into Q, because we know that V equal to W by Q. Work done in bringing a unit positive charge. That you can remember the definition, or we can write W equal to V into Q, or we can write W equal to VIT, because we know that V into what is Q here? I equal to Q by T. This equation we already know that. So in place of Q, we can write I into T. So the equation becomes VIT. Or it can be written as, we can use the Ohm's law. In place of V equal to IR. V equal to what? IR. Substitute here. IR into I into T. I into I will be I square RT. Or we can write this equation as W equal to, in place of I, we can write V divided by R. V by R means V square by R square into R into T. R will get cancelled. So we will get V square by R into T. So this is also another form of electric energy or electric power. Is it clear? W equal to VQ or W equal to VIT or W equal to I square RT or W equal to V square by R into T. Where V indicates potential difference, Q is charge, I indicates current, R indicates resistance, and at last T indicates time. Then electric power. How to define electric power? Electric power is defined as the rate at which electric energy is supplied. The rate at which electric energy is supplied, that is called electric power, because we already know the equation P equal to W by T, rate of doing work. Which work it is doing here? It is supplying electrical energy. So power equal to electrical energy over time, that gives electric power. If W is the electrical energy supplied in time T, then the electric power P is given by the equation P equal to W divided by T. This is electric power. Then if W is equal to 1 joules, then time is 1 second, then power will be how much? 1 watt. That is P equal to W by T. If electrical energy is 1 joule and time is 1 second, then we will get the value 1 watt. Watt is the unit for electric power. The electric power is said to be 1 watt if 1 joule of electric energy is supplied in 1 second. So electric power we can express in terms of watt. Note 1 horsepower is equal to how many watt? 1 HP, that is 1 horsepower is equal to 746 watt. Then next point, different forms of power equations. So power can be expressed in different forms. You can observe the basic equation P equal to what? W by T. W means what? Q into V divided by T, or we can write Q divided by T into V. Is it clear? So this is the basic form for power equations. So this equation can be written as P equal to I into V. Electrical current into potential difference, that gives power, because we know that current I is equal to Q divided by T. Then second equation we can use P equal to I square R, because in place of V when we substituted IR we got the equation 2. Then third one, P equal to V square by R, because V equal to IR or I equal to V divided by R. So because of this we will get the third equation. Suppose if the current is constant, for constant current P is directly proportional to R. What it mean? Electrical power is directly proportional to resistance only when electric current is constant, because you can observe the equation 2 here. P equal to I square R. Here I is constant, so P is directly proportional to R, right? Then fifth one, for constant potential difference, when V is constant, then P is inversely proportional to resistance. You can observe the third equation. What is that? P equal to V square by R. Here V is constant, so P is inversely proportional to resistor only when potential difference V is constant. So these are the different forms of power equations. Then next part, commercial unit of electrical energy. Commercially, which type of unit we are using to find the electrical energy? That is kilowatt hour. Kilowatt hour is commercial unit. Here 1 kilowatt hour is the electrical energy consumed by an electrical appliance of power 1 kilowatt when it is used for 1 hour. When we are using any electrical appliances, you can take a television or refrigerator or washing machine or any electrical motor. So these all are what? Electrical appliances. If that electrical appliances for 1 hour, if the electrical power of 1 kilowatt is used, then that gives kilowatt hour. So electrical power is given by what? Electrical energy over time. Electrical energy is equal to, we can multiply time here, electrical power into time. Now substitute the value, electrical energy here 1 kilowatt per hour. 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 1 kilo means 1000 watt into 1 hour equal to how much? 3600 seconds. See here, 1 kilowatt is equal to how much? 1000 watt. 1 hour is equal to 3600 seconds. Substitute here. So we will get 1 kilowatt hour equal to how many joules? 3.6 into 10 raised to 6 joules. This is called 1 unit. You can observe the electrical bill in your houses. Electrical bill should be in terms of unit. 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit. So 1 unit means how much? 1 kilowatt hour. 1 kilowatt hour equal to how many joules? 3.6 into 10 raised to 6 joules. This is the commercial unit of electrical energy. Then expression for power loss. Why power loss takes place, that we already studied in the video lecture current electricity 17th part. That you can remember. Here once again we can revise. The electrical power is transmitted through transmission cables. These cables have resistance and the power is wasted in them as a heat. This is known as power loss. What is power loss? The electric power is transmitted through the transmission cables. When we are transmitting the electrical power through the cables, these cables are having some amount of resistances. Because of this resistance, certain amount of power is wasted as a heat energy. So we can call it as a power loss. And the power loss in the cable is given by the equation. Power loss in the transmission cable is denoted by PT. PT equal to what? I square RT, or we can write P by V whole square RT. This is an expression for power loss in the transmission cables. Here we can take R is the load resistance, RT is resistance of the transmission cables, I is current through the cable, V is voltage across R, and the P is power delivered to the load. So this is the expression for power loss. Now the next part, power consumption in parallel combination of electrical appliances. When the electrical appliances has a parallel combination of resistors, then how power consumption takes place, that we can study. Consider three electrical appliances of power P1, P2 and P3 having resistances R1, R2 and R3, and they are connected in parallel operating at the voltage V. Let Rp be the equivalent resistance of the combination and Pp is the total power. Now let us imagine we are going to consider three electrical appliances. They are connected in parallel. And each electrical appliances is having the power P1, P2 and P3. And the resistances are R1, R2 and R3. They are connected in parallel. And they are all operating at the voltage V. And instead of all these three resistors, we can use equivalent resistors Rp, and the Pp is the total power. For parallel combination, the equivalent resistance of the resistances in parallel combination is given by, what is the equation we already derived? 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. Let us take it as equation number 1. This is for parallel combination. Now I am going to multiply both sides by V square. Let us multiply it by V square on both sides. What we will get? V square divided by Rp is equal to V square by R1 plus V square by R2 plus V square divided by R3. Let us take it as equation number 2. But we know that what is V square by Rp? So we know that power P equal to V square by R. This equation you can remember. P equal to what? V square by R. So here I am going to write, instead of V square by Rp, we can write total power because this is equivalent resistor. So now I can write, here I am going to write, in place of V square by Rp, we can write total power PP. In place of V square by R1, we can write P1 for first appliance, V square by R2, this is P2, V square by R3, here we can write P3. So therefore, the equation can be written as total power PP is equal to P1 plus P2 plus P3. So this is the power consumption for parallel combination of the electrical appliances. Then what it indicates? The total electric power consumed in the parallel combination of electrical appliances is equal to sum of powers of individual appliances. So when we are going to add the power consumption in each combination, that gives total power. This is for parallel combination. Is it clear? Similarly, we can find power consumption in series combination. Again, we are going to consider three electrical appliances of powers P1, P2 and P3 having resistances R1, R2 and R3, and they are connected in series at the voltage V. They are operating at the voltage V. Let Rs is the equivalent resistance of the combination and Ps is the total power. Now similarly, how to write the equivalent resistor for series combination? We can write Rs equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. Let us take it as equation number 1. This is equivalent resistance of the resistances in series. Now I am going to divide both sides by V square. Then the equation becomes Rs divided by V square equal to R1 by V square plus R2 divided by V square plus R3 divided by V square. Let us take it as equation number 2. Or this equation can be written as, I am going to write 1 divided by V square by Rs is equal to 1 by V square divided by R1 plus 1 by V square divided by R2 plus 1 by V square divided by R3. Let us take it as equation number 3. Why we are writing in this form? Because we know that power P is equal to V square by R. This equation we can use here. See here, I am going to write in place of V square by R. Yes, we can write total power in series. V square by R1 can be written as P1. V square by R2 can be written as P2. V square by R3 can be written as P3. So therefore, we can write equation 3 as, or equation 3 becomes, what is the equation 3? You can observe here. 1 by V square by Rs can be written as 1 by V square by Rs means what? Ps. 1 by V square by R1, that is P1. Plus 1 by V square by R2 is P2. Similarly, 1 by P3. So this is a power consumption for series combination. Then what is the conclusion? What it indicates? The reciprocal of total electric power, that is 1 by Ps. What is 1 by Ps? The reciprocal of total electric power consumed in series combination of the electrical appliances is equal to sum of reciprocals of powers of individual appliances. That gives power consumption in series combination. Is it clear? So this is all about power consumption in series as well as in parallel combination. Then last point, maximum power theorem. What is the theorem? What it states? Maximum power. It states that the power delivered by the cell becomes maximum. The power delivered by the cell will be maximum only when external resistance connected to the source becomes equal to internal resistance. That means when capital R is equal to small r, then power is said to be maximum. This is the maximum power theorem. What is the statement of maximum power theorem? It states that power delivered by the cell becomes maximum when external resistance connected to the source becomes equal to internal resistance of the cell. When capital R is equal to small r, then power is said to be maximum. So this is all about electrical energy, electrical power, heating effect and power consumption, power loss and maximum power theorem.